So you ever playing in Madden franchise mode and suddenly you are out of cap space for the year? We are not here. We have 45 million, but let's just say that you wanted to push money out like they do in real life through void years. Well, there's not currently a way to do void years in Madden. They did add, contract restructuring this year, or last year, whichever year they did it, but they still have yet to add a way to do void years. So I am going to show you guys how to do it. There is not really I'm doing air quotes here, a legitimate way to do it. You have to edit, but the way we're going to edit is going to be, we're going to keep it fair. You're going to get the same cap hit. It's fine. It's fair. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to find a player who has a less than 5-year contract. You can do less than 7 years, but the way we're going to do it right now, you have to have less than 5 years. They also have to have a fairly decent cap hit that you want to move out. So we're going to use Elgton Jenkins. So what you do is you take Elgton Jenkins, because that's our best bet right now. He's a high cap hit, and he has only 2 years, which is under the 5-year limit. And you take his last 2 years, $24.8 million and $17.6 million, and you add them together, and you get $42.4 million. So this is how you prep it. You go into contract. You make it a 2-year deal, because that's all he has left on the contract. You set it to first year. And then you take the 42.4 and you divide it by 4. That's the new cap hit for his salary. So 10.6 is what he's at now. 10.6. And then you take that number and you multiply it by 3 to get the rest of the contract, because that's the 75% of it. So now it's 31.8. So it doesn't quite come out even, so I'm going to go 10.07 and 31.79. That is also a way, by the way, if you have a very uneven contract, you can do that to even out the contract. But anyway, we're getting sidetracked. So the next thing you need to do is we need to pick our player to be our void years player. You can do it with any position. You can do it a long snapper. You can do it a punter. I like to use a punter when I do it. You can do a kicker. You can do a quarterback. Doesn't really matter. Preferably somebody who's never, ever going to see the field. So that's why I like to do a punter. So actually, I'm going to go sign a punter. Does not matter who. We're going to use Jack Browning this time. You can draft a punter. You can do whatever you want. We're going to sign him to the roster. We're going to go into edit. And we want to make him as young as possible so that he doesn't try to retire on us. You want to do that. And then you want to edit his name. This is what I always do. I always go void. Oops. Void for the first name. And years for his last name. So now this is our punter, void years. He is who we are going to add all the salary onto, or all the guaranteed money onto. Gonna save changes. Now we go to our freshly redone player, Elgton Jenkins. We go back to his contract, and you take off as much as you want. So his total right now is 31.78, and we actually want to take 30 million off. So his final is going to be 1.78. So now we have 30 million less right now. You go back to your player that you picked to make your void years. You go to his contract. You make it a 5-year deal. You take the salary all the way down to 0. If you can go to 0, you might only be able to go to 100,000. Doesn't really matter. Can you go under? You can go to 0. Now you take that signing bonus and you go up to, get it all the way up there, 30 million. So now you have a $30 million punter. But if you go to your team's salary, we now have 52 million in cap space. We just pushed out about, what does that be? So we just pushed out $12 million in cap space. Because signing bonus is spread even. No, 6 times 3 is 18. So signing bonus is spread out, except for some reason 0.01%, whatever. Signing bonus is spread out evenly among the years that you have. Up to 5 years. Then if you do a 7-year contract, the signing bonus doesn't go 6 and 7 years. We're not talking about that right now. So that is how you do that. The only problem, this is the pros and cons. The pros, you get to push out salary cap or cap hit further out. The con is that if you release them at the end of a real-life void year deal, any remaining void years that are still on the contract are added on, and it's all one cap hit. So the problem is that this guy here, well, he's going to be on your team for 5 years unless you cut him, which wouldn't make any sense. So if you're wanting to do this with more than one player, because you can add up to, how much can you add up to on here? So you can push out 40 million each year, so you can get up to 200 million. You can do it with salary. It's not evenly spaced. It's pushed out further the further along you go. So you could technically use this method to push out. If you have it all on 1 year, yeah, you could do a lot of money pushed all the way out. It would suck when you get to the later years, but for now, we're just going to do 30 million. So to summarize here, you go in, you sign a player, you make their name void years, you make them as young as possible, you make the length of their contract 5 years, and then you go into any other player. You go into any other player, you take the remaining amount of their contract that's on there, you put 75% on the signing bonus, 25% on the salary, take as much of the signing bonus off. Whatever you take off on him, you put onto your void years guy onto the signing bonus, and it will spread it out up to 5 years. The biggest con is that when you go to release, like let's say I were to release Elgton Jenkins, well, now I'm only getting a $1.7 million cap penalty, but I still have the punter because in void years, it's supposed to the rest of the void years that you aren't using are supposed to go on the final year of your release. So you can leave the void years on just to keep the cap hit going, or you can, if you write it down, you can take that amount off, make the contract for the player the final amount of years, make the contract for the player that you're releasing 1 year, and then add the rest of that hit. So like let's say I release him next year, it would be 24 million cap onto Elgton Jenkins' contract, and then it would give you the proper way to do it, or you can leave it on there. So that is how you add void years into Madden, because you can't do it legitimately. So hopefully I didn't confuse you guys too much. All right, well, if you guys like that, please like, follow, subscribe, maybe check out some of my other videos. I appreciate it. Till next time.